Hi there, my name is Heidi Williams, and this is Thornton Now. I am the mayor of the city of Thornton, and we are here today to talk about the conservation efforts we have in the city of Thornton with our water resources as well as our recycling programs. So first we have Laura Wing. She is our water resources administrator, and she's here to talk to us about all of the different programs we have in the city to really help focus on water conservation. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. So you have a lot of programs within the department that helps us conserve, but talk to us a little bit about, right now it's hot, you know, people are starting to water, we're not getting as much rain as we did earlier on in the season. Are we in a drought? Is there something we need to worry about?
We're not declared drought right now, so we're actually smooth sailing for now, and we've had a great snowpack year, so we filled our reservoirs, and so we're in a good state, but we're always looking to save water.
So we're always being thoughtful about that.
Yeah, and being efficient with water is always good. And you know, at this time of year, sprinkler systems start springing leaks because they're being used a lot. So, so that's just something to be mindful of. Just checking your sprinkler systems all the time, and we're always checking the city's sprinkler systems also, and we get calls about those too. So we're always going out and checking on if it's an HOA or if it's a park or what. So,
wonderful. Okay.
Yeah.
So is there and I know the answer to this obviously, but tell our viewers, is there a schedule that's kind of recommended by the city? I know sometimes when we're in drought watches or a drought warning, we'll kind of scale back what people can do, but is there still a recommendation based on being in Colorado and being in a more dry climate?
Yeah, we recommend a 2-day-a-week schedule. At this time of year when it's getting hotter, add a third day, but really deep watering infrequently is a really good way to keep your grass healthy because it encourages deep root growth, and it just makes it more drought resistant, so that when we do get a dry spell, it's healthier.
Wonderful.
So.
Yeah, I sometimes I notice my neighbors, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon when it's super hot. It seems like it would be better to do it in the morning or in the evening when it's cooler. Is that a myth or is that true?
It's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When we are in a drought, we ask people not to water between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. So in the cooler hours of the day, reduces evaporation. You can lose about 30% of your water due to evaporation. So.
Okay, well thank you for
that.
that.
We do that.
So I know I'm always trying to look for ways to save money on my monthly bill or just in general. I know there's some rebates that we offer in the city. Can you talk a little bit about those rebates?
Yeah, we have the rebates are a great way to incentivize people for doing making a small change in either their behavior or in the technology that they're using. So you ready to talk toilets? Because toilets is
absolutely
a great way. Upgrading a toilet is a great way to save water indoors. They use about a quarter of your indoor water use. So that is, right now we're rebating 1.2 gallon per flush or less toilets, and we have some great 0.8 gallon per flush toilets that are real great water savers, because if you had a 1.6 gallons per flush toilet and cut that in half, you're saving a lot indoors. And we've had people save 20,000 gallons a year by participating in this program. So.
Well, and that really shows in their bottom line too of their budget, of their household budget, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. What other kinds of free services do we offer as a city to our citizens who might want to make some changes, like for example, changing over to xeriscaping or something like that?
Yeah, we've got this great rebate program, and we have a ton of resources on our website, thorntonwater.com, kind of talking about the step-by-step process that it takes to convert your landscape from lawn to more Waterwise gardens. And we're not against lawns at all, but it does help to reduce your costs, your water bill, to reduce the amount of lawn that you have. So putting in a Waterwise garden with flowering perennials is a great way to do that. And so it's $1 per square foot rebate right now, up to 1,000 square feet. So there's a few people taking advantage of it, and it's not for everyone because there's different maintenance involved with a garden than mowing a lawn.
That's what I was going to ask, because I'm always looking for ways that, well, I don't do the yard work, but that my husband doesn't have to do so much yard work. So that's interesting. So there'd be more weeding or something maybe that goes along with it.
Yeah, there can be weeding as the first year especially, and then it kind of dies back.
Oh, okay.
Not too bad. And the plants grow. I mean, some of the plants that we promote, you can get a really small plant and it'll grow in a year, especially this year with all the rain we got. I mean, it grows up to 2 feet or something. You know, it's amazing. It can start out as a little tiny
and those types of yards kind of started out looking a little rough, and I think now I've seen a lot of really beautiful lawns that are more the Waterwise yards that again, they're not so rough looking.
Yeah.
They're manicured, they're nice looking, they're attractive for the neighborhood. Are you having, are HOAs having any issues with those, or have we had positive response from the HOAs?
It depends on the HOA, but most of them are, you know, it's actually a state law that you can't prevent someone from putting in a Waterwise landscape in their yard. It's just they still have to follow the HOA design guidelines and go through the process.
So in addition to talking with you all, they should always talk to their HOA as well.
Yes.
I know sometimes we as homeowners forget that we need to check in or get a permit for something, so that's a great reminder. So I go to the schools a lot to talk to kids, and the one thing I always talk to them about is, you know, turn the water off when you're brushing your teeth, or don't take a 1 hour shower every night. What do you guys have? I know you have a great youth program. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it's about our 13th year, I think, or 14th year of the Youth Water Festival. And we have 1,000 kids from the area. Some are from Westminster, some are from North Glen, because we all use Stanley Lake water for part of our water supply. So, and we've got a lot of Thornton kids coming, and it's basically a one-day conference for kids. So they get presentation. We have about 40 presenters on that one day. Come from experts from around Colorado come, and we have the Denver Zoo, Denver Botanic Gardens, some other, you know, water professionals come, and they learn anything from the first water court case in Colorado to water quality to ecosystems.
I kind of feel like adults should go to that as well.
Yeah, it would be a great thing for adults to go to, and I think the teachers really enjoy it too. So the teachers are accompanying the students, and they're having a good time too.
Yeah, I think there's nothing either better or worse, depending on how you look at it, than peer pressure from your kid. So my son goes to STEM Launch, and they do problem-based learning, and so they did a whole water PBL. I don't know, I think it was last year, and my son, who is now 10, he kept coming home and telling me, "Mom, we need to do this thing in the toilet bowl to show how much water we're using," and I'm like, who taught him that? Because I don't have time for this. But, you know, it's really cute because they really do, they take that back home to their parents, and maybe, you know, our kids can teach us. I think they're already doing that, but they can teach us a little bit more when we've given them the information, because it's, you know, their parents may not ever hear that from anyone. So it's a cool program, and we appreciate that. So again, if people want to hear more about it or get more information, how would they do that?
So for all of our programs are on thorntonwater.com.
Okay.
And you can also call 720-977-6600 if you don't have access to the internet.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you, Laura, for being here. We really appreciate it, and hope that everybody is doing a good job with your water conservation. Water is very expensive in Colorado. As we say, kind of jokingly, whiskey is for drinking and water is for fighting in Colorado and the arid West. So the City Council is always going to DC and going to the EPA and talking to our congressmen and women about the importance of Thornton and how we do such a great job with water conservation. So we appreciate your efforts, and I know the citizens do too. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right, we will be right back to talk recycling.
Wouldn't it be great if you had a way to let Thornton know when a pothole suddenly appears? Or when other issues in the city need attention? Like a streetlight going out, or some broken concrete on a sidewalk? Now there is. It's an app for your mobile phone called My Thornton. Just tap the app and you can report dozens of issues directly to Thornton staff. You can also get updates on the issue as it gets resolved.
So I think I've got everything I need. Do you want to stop for lunch or something?
Yeah, that sounds great. But I'm not really sure what's around here. Do you know?
Well, in Thornton, when we have this question, we tap the app, the My Thornton app.
Thornton information is literally just a tap away with the new My Thornton app. City information, news, restaurants, and more are all at your fingertips. Just visit the App Store for your Android or iPhone and search for Thornton. There you will find the My Thornton app. Download and install the app and you are ready to find information about city events, shopping, news, and you can communicate with City Hall about issues 24/7. Just tap the app.
Welcome back. I'm Heidi Williams, Mayor of the City of Thornton, and you are watching Thornton Now. I have with me Mark Nicely. He's our Environmental Services Manager, and he's here to talk recycling and composting. I know as an elected official, I get a lot of phone calls about recycling. I get asked, when are we going to start having composting and that sort of thing. So tell us a little bit about recycling first, and then we'll talk about composting next.
Okay, recycling. We just changed our recycling schedule from twice per month to every other week.
My husband's super happy about that. He has complained about that for years, so yay.
It should be a lot easier to understand when your recycling week is. You know, just think, did I put it out last week? Nope, well, let's put it out this week. It should give us a lot more steady stream for recycling as well. And if anybody is ever confused about when their schedule is, we have an app on our internet page under trash and recycling. It's our Recollect calendar. You can just click on that trash and recycling page and type in your address. It gives you a schedule of everything for your particular address. When your trash day is, when your recycling day is, and any other events that we have coming up.
Okay, that's awesome. I know that's really helpful for my family, and I'm sure for everybody else, because we're all like driving down our neighborhood going, did they put the green one out? You know, the green trash can. So where can we take our big recycling stuff? I know there was a little bit of conversations about moving some stuff around. Is everything the same, or has it changed?
For right now, everything's the same.
Okay.
We have 5 drop-off locations that we have large 6-yard bins. If you have large boxes or something, you can take them there. We will have discussions later on. We're changing the type of truck that we're using, and at that time would be a good time to reevaluate those locations and where they're located and where they're best be served.
Okay, great. So I know as far as composting goes, we don't really do pickup at the house for
Right.
composting. But we're right? Like I keep pushing for that. But what is it that we are doing that people could bring to you?
So we started a composting program where we have a large roll-off bin in our yard at the IMC at 124th and Washington.
Okay.
People are more than welcome to bring their composting to us during business hours. Just check in at the front office, and either myself or somebody in my department will escort you out there, put their composting in their composting bin. We're also starting something new this year. For November 2nd, we're going to have a Saturday event. That's when all the fall leaves start falling, and everybody's bagging their leaves and setting mounds and mounds of bags out for the trash can. So this year, instead of just putting out the leaves for the trash drivers to pick them up, take them to the landfill, if you could please bring your leaves to our compost bin, that way we can compost them and keep them out of the landfill. And then we're going to have that date on November 2nd, where it's a Saturday. You can bring them in on that day as well.
I know this is a very technical question, but we can bring them in the bags.
Correct.
And then do we have to pour them out, or will you all do that for us?
If you have them in plastic trash bags, then we will need to rip open the bags and dump them into the composting bin, and we'll have trash cans to get rid of the plastic bags.
Great.
But they sell very inexpensive composting bags as well.
Oh, okay.
I know Lowe's and Home Depot have paper bags, and on Amazon they've got fully compostable bags that you can put your leaves in, then we can just throw the whole bag in there.
I feel really dumb because I did not know that. So thank you for teaching me something new today. We haven't really started the composting thing at our house yet, but we're very interested in doing it, so that's exciting. Tell us a little bit about the bulk pickup that some people can opt into. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's our Click and Haul program. Anytime you have a bulk item pickup, it used to be for just our customers that have our service. Now it's been opened up to any Thornton resident can call in and schedule one of those pickups.
And how much does that cost?
It starts for $65, and that's for about 2 pickup truckloads. And then the more stuff that you have, obviously the rates will go up from there.
It seems like, when I've done it a couple of times, I felt like, oh, I have too much, but you can actually fit quite a bit
Right.
in the truck. And so I'm not saying like overdo it, be mindful of what you're putting out there, but you'll take just about anything in that. What are the kind of the prohibited items?
The stuff that we can't take dirt, concrete, tires, or any type of electronics.
Okay.
TVs, anything with a screen. We can't take
But you do
those.
a couple of drop-offs like that a year with the county, and so for
Correct.
electronics, if you have electronics at home that you need to recycle, just kind of keep checking on the website.
Yeah, if you just go to the City of Thornton's website, it's thorntonco.gov, and you can put in /trash and recycling, or just click on our tab for trash and recycling, and all the information you can ever think about, any question you can ever think about, all the answers are right there.
Great. Yeah, I've used that website many times. We moved, so when you're moving, you have all these questions about what do I do to get rid of all this stuff. So thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. And that does conclude today's version of Thornton Now, and we look forward to seeing you next time.